Groove number 3 is called Smokin' Stack, and it's a takeoff on the blues classic Smokestack Lightnin' by Howlin' Wolf. I'm going to show you Hubert Sumlin's great single-note guitar part. It's based off of an E minor pentatonic scale. And let's dig into one of the greatest blues tunes of all time. Well, let's take a look at how I played that. We're basically off of an E minor pentatonic scale. And the real kind of fun part about this tune, besides it being one of the classic blues riffs of all time, played by Hubert Sumlin, a great guitar player, is it's pretty loose, as loose can get. If you listen to the original Howlin' Wolf recording, he doesn't really repeat the same line exactly each time. So I'm kind of going free and loose with it, as you should, and he does as well. Okay, so E minor pentatonic, and I'm going to add in an extra C sharp when we get there. So the main riff, I'll just play the top line first. That's my first part. Open E, that slight bend on the G, which is incredibly important, because the song is neither E minor or E major or E7. It's in between, and it's that tweaking of that third that makes it so cool. So we really want to spend a lot of time on getting that little bend right. So that's my first part. Classic blues lick here. Now I like using my second and third finger for this slide. I'm sliding up from my A to my B to my D. Let that note ring, those two ring. So my fingering can get a little crazy at times because where I want to go to and where I want to go from, right? So experiment with what works best for you. This is what I do. Now, of course, if you watch a performance, I may have done something else, but generally speaking, I like sliding with my third finger on here to my second finger, and I kind of change up the fingers as I go down. Now, the second half of the lick, so the first part, so I'm just replacing the top G with the D. Now, someone on the original recording switches that up pretty freely. So, same exact lick, instead of just going, I'm going to go. Now, to add some extra flavor, next time around, I'm going to do, and get this cool little tritone. I am playing my G and my C sharp, and I'm bending the both of them just a hair. So it's a kind of train whistle sound, right? That really gives it that great classic blues sound. So that's the main riff. Now the hardest part is keeping this thumb going, right? So keeping that pounding away. Now, give yourself a little bit of a break on this. If you listen to Hubert Sumlin play it, his thumb is pretty loose. It's not straight on with boom, boom, 3, 4, those quarter notes, 2, 3, 4. That's what you want, but he's pretty loose with it. Sometimes he doubles it up, sometimes he kind of loses it in the coolest way. So I wouldn't get too crazy about it. But when you're playing along with the track, maybe just practice your thumb doing the part. Now, the hard part is getting the thumb and the fingers together. Now, obviously, I'm not using a pick on this. It's all finger picked, so. I played it pretty straight there. You want to swing it a little harder. But when you're practicing it, sometimes it works when you play with the metronome and really just try to lock that stuff up. I wish I could give you some sort of trick as to this is how you do it. The only way you get it is by practicing the heck out of it. It's really actually pretty difficult to get together. But it totally pays off because tons of tunes do it. We're going to see it in other tunes in this course as well. So that's the first half of the riff. Now, when somebody's singing, I might not want to be as busy as the main riff, so I'm doing some kind of combination of that stuff. So that's all thinking open E minor pentatonic. So that's really, I like this, low E, top 2 strings. Once again, we're not hitting the third of the chord, the G or the G sharp. Right, so it's nice and open. Then open D to E. And I go down to my low G, open D again, to the E. This classic blues stuff. All that open E, ringy string stuff that the guitar lends itself to so beautifully. But the main thing I can tell you to do is to listen to the original recording. That is everything you need to know right there. The groove, the feel, the tune, the guitar part, the vocals, the band, everything. Listen to the original Howlin' Wolf recording of Smokestack Lightnin'.